The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum, assemble. You're watching Fantastic Forum, the premier show about comic books and your live weekly conversation about entertainment and geek culture. We are the Fantastic Forum, coming to you live and direct from the Hall of F. Hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, as the case may be, depending on where you are in the world. And if you're not, you should stick with us. We'll help you take it up a notch. You have the usual suspects in the building. First, we have our riddle. Inside of an enigma, trapped in Chinese finger cuffs. You don't know him. You love him anyway. He's our silent assassin, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, wait a minute, Jay. You can't. Wait. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait a minute. You can't say what's up and then not show yourself. Show yourself. There it is. Okay. Next, we have our intrepid senior reporter. He's next in line for the cowl. He is our resident Dark Knight detective. It's Oz.
I feel semi-naked with my background.
Yeah. Look, well, we'll talk about it. Because I'm interested on what's happening there. But before we talk about that, we need to talk about the backbone, the pillar, the strength of Fantastic Forum, our nigh invulnerable brawler and resident strongman, Moses Magnum.
What's up?
What's up, indeed? And as for myself, my name is Lawrence Young. They call me Mayor Young. Welcome to Fantastic Forum. We got a great show for you today because we are going to be talking to you all about Daredevil, A Cold Day in Hell, #1. And we're going to be talking to you all about the latest relaunch of Amazing Spider-Man. It's Amazing Spider-Man #1. So we got both of those. Plus whatever else it is that you all want to talk about, and we'll tell you how it is. You could let us know what that might be in just a moment. But before we do, we want to make sure that we thank Mr. Scott Rubin, because without him, this show would not exist. So thank you, Scott Rubin. Hope all is well with you, good sir. And with that said, let's have the intern go ahead and drop the details on you. Let's go.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Indeed. You can go ahead and go to fantasticforum.live, click the call-in button, and you will be the 5th member of Fantastic Forum. Or if you're a bit shy, you can always go ahead and jump into chat. We'll take your comments directly out of chat and bring them into the show, such as insert witty chat comment here, please.
Hexzilla says, I didn't know which Spider-Man #1 to read. There's so many, lol.
Hey,
and
listen.
I agree. Like,
yes,
I almost didn't read the book because I couldn't find which one was the right one.
We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. Like, I definitely feel like that's part of the discussion in regards to this review.
I read the one with the good cover.
Yeah, that's what made it really hard to find.
By good, I meant blank covers. Get white cover.
Oh, I thought you meant that Hobgoblin cover, which is actually issue 4.
We'll talk about it. So we got that coming up in just a little bit for you all. So, feel free to join in on the discussion, whether it's via chat, whether it's as the 5th member of Fantastic Forum. Please feel free to jump in. And so with that said, wait, am I forgetting something? No, I'm not forgetting anything, right? We're just chatting right now, right? I did all the housekeeping. Yes, no, maybe anything that you Okay, cool. All right. Look, we do have a caller. There he is. 5th member of the Fantastic Forum. Caller, tell the people. Say again.
Knock knock housekeeping.
There, housekeeping. There it is. Look, tell the people who you are and where you're calling from.
I'm Hecht.
Indeed.
I'm calling from nice tropical Arizona.
That's one way to describe it. I agree.
It's not.
So cool.
It's not that bad today.
Oh well, listen. Thank goodness for small
and it's supposed
favors.
to be cooler come Easter. So
Okay, man. Well,
it's not hellish yet.
From your lips to God's ears, man. I hope that happens for you all. You know.
Yeah.
So, anyway, but yeah. So listen, I think we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with this Daredevil. So let's make that happen and let's get into it.
Comic book
review.
Comic book
Like review.
Well, not like that, but like.
All right. So, Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell. It's a limited series or a mini series. I think 3 issues, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Written by Charles Soule, art by Steve McNiven. And yeah, it's like a story set in a world that is in the seemingly near future.
It looks like the present to me, but
right. Look, seemingly near future where I was like, it feels like some sort of regime has kind of taken over and is kind of suppressing the will of some people. There was some sort of conflict that happened, and it's definitely changed the status quo of things. And
I think I just saw something like that on TV.
They didn't give us all the answers up front in regards to what exactly is going on, but there's definitely something in the Marvel universe as we know it that's filled with heroes all through the city of New York doing all types of daring do. Doesn't seem to be the case right in this book as it opens. Everybody's old. And most people, it seems, have stopped, have hung up their tights in one way or another. And this follows a Daredevil who's depowered, so he's basically an old blind man, until something happens, and so that makes that potentially not the case. So, what did you gents think of this book? Like, Mo, let's start with you, man. What were your initial impressions of Daredevil, A Cold Day in Hell, or Cold Day in Hell?
I mean, I love these stories. This is like Spider-Man Reign type, Dark Knight Returns type, I love these explorations, and this takes Daredevil in a way where the TV show did it. Like, he's not trying not to be Daredevil. He can't. And then he becomes, by issue 1, he's Daredevil again. Like, all right, good. Yeah. I don't need to wait 5-6 episodes, So, yeah, so I love it. And then, but also, like, Charles Soule's writing right now with this is very, it's very, it starts nihilistic and with a lot of romanticism in it. And that's one of my favorite styles of writing. So for me, like, this feels great. And then then it gets hopeful, and they go into the thing with the God's plan, which that's one of the things I hate. Like, I hate hearing that fucking phrase. So, but it's it's they use it here for a reason. Because of that, someone like me would, or someone like a superhero that be powered, like Daredevil's the only one that could kind of use that and still be okay with it, And it kind of feeds into the nihilism at first, and then it brings hope. And I was a little worried about how hopeful it was towards the end, but with superhero stories, they're supposed to be hopeful. They're especially like when you're exploring things of nihilism, from a philosophical standpoint, they are the Ubermensch, they are the Supermen, so they have to bring us hope. They are Jesus Christ, they are Muhammad, they're whoever you believe in, So yeah, definitely, like the way it's written was great. I loved it, and the art fucking amazing. Like it fits the tone really good, and it does. Like McNiven, you can really tell these two dudes love doing this book. You know?
Yeah.
And because it's the art's like very crowded and very claustrophobic when it needs to be, and very minimalistic and expressive when it needs to be. So in its expression. So I definitely this book is definitely a work of art to me.
Okay.
5 out
Well,
of
listen.
5.
There, right now, right? I was about to say, don't hold back, bro. Don't hold back. I love it, though. I love it. Look, Oz, do you feel the same way, or is your take slightly different?
I'm not sure I enjoyed the art as much as Mo.
Okay.
Like way too many lines on everybody. I understand the old people, like Matt Murdock. Like the homeless guys are obviously younger, and they're like their face is just all lines, like a spaghetti monster on their face.
But you've seen Steve McNiven's art before. Like, what do you feel like? It's like a lot more lines than what it usually looks like.
I think I forgot what his art looked like.
Like if you look at a book like Nemesis, it has less lines than this. For Steve McNiven. So I definitely I see what Oz is saying too, but I think there was a catastrophe that fucked everybody up, not just superheroes. So I think everybody's a little like weathered and deformed. Yeah. I think that's part of it too.
Yeah, like Daredevil looks good. The other old man, I don't know if you want to say who that was that showed up, looked good.
Captain America.
With all the extra lines because they're old,
Yeah. No, but I think the lines aren't just wrinkles. I think they're also deformations or something,
Okay.
For the people that were affected or,
Yeah, like I think
we don't,
I think it is just lines.
Yeah.
That's what I think, but I didn't have a problem with it personally, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think
it's part of the mystery.
I think Mo's right because I'm kind of looking at some of the pages, and there's some people that don't have that many lines on their face that look fine,
and they're like in better positions in life too, like
Yeah, I think it's just the two homeless dudes that like really freaked me out,
and Bullseye.
Oh, okay, interesting.
But again, Bullseye's an old man too, so he's fine.
Right. Okay, how do you feel about the story?
I thought the story was decent.
Mm-hmm.
It's the old man Daredevil story. I'd like to find out why he lost his powers. I mean, I get how they came back. I want to know why they went away.
Mm-hmm.
And this is only 3 issues, so it won't even it shouldn't take that long if they even go into it. I guess they really don't have to go into it. Like, it doesn't matter at this point. He's back, and that's all we need to care about.
I mean, I'm curious too, though. Like, it definitely, like, I feel like this first issue definitely gives us a lot of, like, it gives a lot of, like, mysteries to be interested in regards to, like, or not. I don't know if I could call it mysteries, but there's lore there that we're not privy to, because it sounds like everybody else knows, and I'm not mad at that because like if everybody else knows, then you have to have a good reason to explain it to us, right? Otherwise, just people talking about things that everybody already knows, which is not great writing usually. So,
see, I got the idea that the chemical that gave him the power in the first place, like, just ran out, or was fully out of his system, and that's why he needed a recharge.
He just worked through it.
Like,
he metabolized it.
Like, after a while, he leaves your body.
I don't listen. I don't know. Maybe
he got a recharge.
Got it. Okay. How about you, Jay? What do you think of Daredevil: Cold Day in Hell?
The story was all right. Like, it was paced a little, not wonky per se, but maybe a little. And I wasn't 100% feeling the art.
Oh, okay. So you're in the same camp with us then?
Yeah. Way too many lines.
Okay. So now what was it about the pacing of the story that didn't quite do it for you?
I don't know. Like, it was like there's a thing, like the beginning of the story, and he gets onto the boat, and I was like, all right, that's enough for me. But then the story keeps going.
Wait. So he got on the boat, and you were thinking, like, okay, like I would be happy if this comic ended right here.
Yeah, like I thought they had done like a good job. Like
you're like excellent.
Yeah,
he's like 5 out of 5. He's like, wait a minute.
Maybe not 5, but definitely like a 4 at least.
Okay.
And then they kept going, and I was like, oh, okay. So we're doing more.
But I'm just, when he gets on the boat, does anything happen other than like him having the discussion with that guy? Like, I mean, like, has anything happened before that point?
He was
Just
at the cemetery.
prose.
You're just like, it's beautiful writing. That's all I need. this backdrop of a picture here, and you want him to get off
romanticistic nihilism, man.
Right? Like, did you want him to get like off the boat, or would you want it to end at like the bridge and that was it?
There's a part where when he's on the boat and he finishes his first speech about God's plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, right there, I was like, okay, like this is good. Like, I don't need more than this.
That's fair.
And then I looked up at the page count and I was like, oh, there's like 40 more pages.
She's like, what are they gonna do with those?
Yeah. So I kept going. I mean, I got to the end.
Yeah. No, I believe
But I
you.
was like, yeah, just a little wonky. Like,
lost points after that.
Yeah, it's not like the stuff behind it was bad. Like, it was good.
Okay.
But there's nothing quite at that level, I don't think, of those first few pages.
Like, I feel like the part where you wanted it to end would have made like, that would have been like where like the first part of like a Daredevil manga would have ended.
Right.
Like a shoujo manga. Yeah. You get like once a week.
Like, and don't get me wrong, like I feel where you're coming from in the sense like it wouldn't have been terrible by any means. I don't know that I would.
Like if it was a fan film that you saw on YouTube, like that'd be hard. Like
yeah, absolutely. You'd be like, damn, like I can't, like someone should pay them to make a whole movie. Right.
But low key, like that's also like the way to hook you into this book. Because that's the part that when I'm like, man, I'm gonna love this book right there. Like I didn't want it to be over. I'm like, I want more. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Interesting. That's really interesting. Chad.
And when you talk about pacing, like that's kind of like it did have that's a little mini arc, and then it goes into the others. So it's
Yeah, no question. Like it's definitely like giving you. It's introducing you
like
to
if
who
it would have been the
is in
TV
that
series,
moment.
it would have been like the first 2 episodes right there.
Well, so how do you guys feel about his conversation at the cemetery?
I love
that. Yeah, like it's really interesting because it's like, okay, like they show you right off the bat that Daredevil has a complete, and there's gonna be some spoilers, folks, but the book did come out a few weeks ago. So
I mean, did you know who it was before they showed it?
No, I feel like the conversation he was having felt like it was with a different person. Like it felt like a conversation you might be having with like a Foggy
or his dad,
or like
too.
like somebody that he cared about deeply.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you see the tombstone and you see that like they do the reveal, I'm just like, oh.
I just watched the TV show, so I thought that was going to be Punisher.
Right. Right. No. I listen, and I was actually that was a name
Spoilers.
that had crossed my mind as well.
Like, I haven't watched the TV show.
I haven't watched this latest episode either. So yeah, but what
The
I
latest
can say
episode
is,
the last episode
oh, is it the last one?
for season 1.
Yeah, but now I'll spoil it for me.
You're hilarious.
The next episode that comes out Thursday.
No, it came out today.
It comes
I
out
watched
Tuesday,
it.
right?
I watched it today.
Oh yeah, it comes out.
Okay,
It
so
came,
next Wednesday is the last episode.
Oh,
does it?
I
It comes out on Tuesdays, doesn't it?
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I saw it today.
I'm
this
waiting
morning.
to binge it, so I don't know what day it comes out.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Tuesday. But
Okay.
but I
And
haven't
not
seen
this
the
weekend.
latest.
Next weekend I can binge it.
Yeah.
But
Let's
yeah,
do it together, Jay.
Okay.
I'll bring a Snuggie for 2.
I think today's episode is the last one, so you can watch it this weekend.
Oh,
No, I
good.
can't. Well, you see, the thing is,
he's like the Snuggie won't get here quick enough.
Yeah. Never mind, Jay. Oz ruined it.
But yeah, so but Punisher, like, was a name that floated in my head too, thinking, and that was my thought process, like, okay, it's too obvious if it's like Foggy or his dad or Karen. So it's like, okay, so no, it's probably like, Punisher, probably Frank Castle. And then when I saw who it was, I was like, okay, like that's crazy. Like obviously something's different in this whole thing here. So I'm like, okay. And that's again like just one of these things where it drops a lot of little things like that.
Like,
No?
it doesn't have to
me.
be that different, because it's, especially with the way the writing is, that he's, romanticizing the time when they had powers and regretting not having powers, and part of that was fighting evil, and he doesn't have powers anymore, and his biggest threat, his enemy, is dead. And it's even like, in a way, it's like together they are in a way a couple or lovers in a sense, because they create this violence together, this endless fight. And even without powers, like, so he does feel like, especially if he didn't kill him, he's gonna feel something that he didn't get to stop him fully.
Yeah.
And that's a thing that even also, like, it plays into when we get to Spider-Man too. I'll bring that up again, because it is like, it is a very almost deconstructive look at like, something happened in this world where he's not even mad at the villain for being the villain anymore, because what happened was so fucked up, and he ended up dying, and he lost his power, and even how he talked about Jessica Jones, and it's like, that's like, dude, like, he didn't even want to ask her if she could still do what she could do, like, because it would be disappointing either way.
Right. Heck, did you get the chance to read Daredevil Cold Day in Hell?
Yeah, man.
Okay, so look, talk to us, Heck. What are your thoughts on this book?
I'm pretty in line with Oz and Jay. Like, the art was weird. I kind of got into it near the end, but in the beginning, it was very 12-ounce mounts to me. And anybody that's seen
12-ounce what?
12-ounce
12-ounce mouse. It's an Adult Swim show known for its terrible artwork.
Yes,
I was like, what is that? What is he
if
saying?
you've never,
I've
never seen it, it looks like shit.
But I love that style, because it is a style. Like, you have to go out of your way to make it look bad.
Like, I wish I could draw like that.
I
wish I could draw like that.
Yeah,
I wish I had the mindset to just make it look like shit.
Like, you're so good that you draw bad, and it works.
So in that respect, it's good art, but it's not. At the same time, like the whole opening speech that he's, I guess, talking in his head because he's in a cemetery. So that whole thing, it paces like a TV show. Like, this was a popular show on Adult Swim. Like, it was almost up there with Aqua Teen.
Really?
Yeah, but
I've never heard of that. Wow.
But it was put at such a weird time that it didn't get as much popularity because it kept moving.
Mm-hmm.
But the few episodes that I saw, it's good, except the art.
Okay.
So, like, the comedy in it is good. It's just the art distracts from it.
Okay. And is that how you felt about this book?
A little bit, because the art's very distracting, and it kind of takes away from what the written word is saying.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, the pacing of the wording, the story in the beginning of it, it's kind of like a sitcom. It's like the opening. It's setting you up for something, but it's paced too quick. Like, oh, he's in the cemetery. Oh, he's on the ferry. Oh, he's at whatever. And then that dude's talking to him, dissing him, and oh, sorry, you're blind. Like it felt too quick. Like if they had put a couple more pages of Daredevil talking to himself on the way to the ferry or in the ferry, I think it would have felt better to me. Like the pacing would have felt better. And
interesting.
It felt like that on Spider-Man 2, but I'll talk about that later. In this one, it just felt like the beginning was super fast paced, relatively, and then when you get to the action of the comic, it's not quick paced. It's like very in its own bubble. Like it's slowed down. Like, oh, there's an explosion, and then everything's like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. Oh shit, I got powers again. Oh fuck, you know. It's kind of.
But now that happens slowly or quickly? You're saying that's fast paced or slow paced?
That part's slow paced.
Okay.
The introduction to the comic it felt quick. Him talking in the cemetery and everything. It felt quick to me.
Got you. That's really interesting. I'm happy to get these, I mean, this is what Fantastic Forum is all about. It's different perspectives, right? I know personally, like I actually really enjoyed the pacing of this book. And I didn't know what the book was going to be. Like for myself, I was just like, it's a miniseries and it's Sewell and McNiven doing Daredevil. That's enough for me. I don't even care, what I don't care what perspective that's going to be from. I know I want to read it. And then when I did actually get my hands on it, I'm like, oh, okay, we have a depowered Daredevil, which is crazy because I'm just like, okay, well, I guess he'll get his powers back, but maybe not. I don't know. Like we'll see. Like the idea of random street toughs, like manhandling Daredevil is so wild. Where I'm just like, I can't even
even
imagine
how they
it.
handled that too was tight. Where it's like, okay, how to do this. Like, So even without powers, like his muscle memory knows how he can land just from being a disabled person.
Right. It's like he's done it. So it's like, okay, like I don't need powers to do this part. Right.
But he kind of did because he just splat.
Yeah. Right. Well,
because he's an old man. Yeah, he did the stuntman fall.
But also too, like Daredevil, like part of his powers was also too, like his heightened senses gave him like that crazy
awareness,
not equilibrium. What is it? The
agility.
Like it's not just the agility. It's like literally like maybe it is his equilibrium. Like there's a reason why Daredevil can like balance himself on two fingers, on a flagpole, like, and that's part because of like his heightened senses, like all of that, like
it's almost like spatial
together.
Awareness, like he knows his body weight, like the way he can shift it and stuff.
It's like and that's part of like why he can do some of the things that he can do, and so him not having that is really interesting, and just watching him like trying to cope, which man, it's wild. It's really wild. Like I enjoyed that so much. Like I just love like this a version of Daredevil that's old and like he's still very much Matt Murdock. You know,
Yeah.
like, he's like a bit more reflective, and it's interesting because I'm sure like I mean, obviously this is not Charles Soule's first time writing Daredevil, but though I don't know, I feel like the last time he did it was probably a while ago. Like Charles Soule is probably, I mean, he's definitely older, but I don't know how old he actually is. He might be, not as old as Daredevil is in this book. I don't want to insult you, Mr. Soule. I'm sorry. but he might be an older guy. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what age he is. Also, too, if can somebody, if possible, pull up some images from this book, like just so that the audience can see,
especially the dudes
art.
that hated it, because
look, I was trying to pull it up, but I wasn't able to do it. So yeah,
and
but,
I loved all the God talk because like it's just in time for Easter.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that like when they say God's plan, because when I tell like when I have a discussion with somebody about the evils in the world, it's like, oh well, he gives you free will, and then it's like, oh, but it's in God's plan, and it's like it's really like anybody that's ever going to give you any kind of resolution to your cosmic questions just says that it gives you one of these fucking idioms, and it's like, yeah, the shit ain't real. You need your fucking powers.
Like you said, God helps those that helps themselves, right?
Well, he said that as he fell, like, and he didn't even finish the sentence.
Right.
He couldn't help himself.
Because it's God's plan.
Yeah.
Looks like he's 50.
You think so?
Fuck you, man.
Charles Soule?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant Daredevil. I'm all offended and shit.
Yeah. So Daredevil's definitely older than 50 in this book.
I would have placed him in like 60, 63, somewhere around there.
One of the things I like about this book, it's like it feels like it's like the anti-Earth X,
Yeah.
And the Earth X is one of my favorite, and this is a similar type of story, similar design, but with instead of everybody having powers, it's now nobody having powers.
Right. I also love like this final image here with Daredevil, with him putting on the costume again, and like I'm like, he looks like frail there.
Yeah.
Which I appreciated. Like Daredevil's never been like he's not like super buff, right?
Yeah.
Like, he definitely has a smaller frame, like in the same way like Spider-Man does, but they
like
both
Bruce Lee style, but he's solid.
Right. Right. And that's what I'm saying is like, but they look strong. Like they don't look weak by any means. But I feel like, and this very well just might be like more about the story setting, but it but that picture to me, it makes me feel like, okay, like that is an older Matt Murdock, and like the story very well might just have set that up for it, because maybe that, like, if I hadn't read this story and I just saw that picture, I might not feel the same way, but I would like to believe I would, that he looks like a little bit like he has a little bit less muscle mass, So
I mean that happens naturally.
Right, exactly, right.
It's like he stayed in the bathtub a little too long.
But yeah, there are a lot of little cameos in this book too. Like, I don't want to say them all or whatever, just in case, so people can like not get spoiled. But I thought that they were all really well done and interestingly placed, so that and I did feel like they were done well, because I know that despite the fact that you don't see anybody in costume in this joint, like as soon as I saw each person, I was like, I know who that is, and that says something about the characterization of each of those individuals, as well as the art, because they don't look like themselves, obviously, because they're much older, but I definitely was like, yeah, I know who that is. Yeah. What else do we all want to say about Daredevil Cold Day in Hell? Any other stray thoughts? Any other?
I liked it because it's like the anti, like the reverse Earth X.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to
Yeah,
see that again.
yeah. Look, that's okay. That's okay. No, Earth X was good. Uh, it was interesting. It's wild because I feel like Earth X is the kind of book that you don't like. It could not get made in this current industry.
Well, the trilogy, like Earth X, Universe X,
Yeah,
and Paradise X. Like,
Paradise X. Yeah,
right now, like this is not the world that would accept that.
right. No, I agree. I agree. Like you don't. Right. And don't get me
The
wrong.
closest we got to Earth X, anything was fucking Eternals. Yeah.
Are you talking about the movie? Or are you talking about the
Yeah,
comic?
with the Dreaming Celestial and all that.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like it shares us some things. I guess. Yeah, um, but yeah, it's just like I will say that even back then though, it's like it's interesting how in we'll talk more about this later, but in a world where in the comics like it's almost like standard for like books to like get a short run and then get rebooted into like a new number one or whatever or some sort of relaunch.
Spider-Man.
Like as much as that happens today, it was kind of standard practice back in the day where if you had like a popular event, it was probably going to get a trilogy. And it's wild, like, and it's like most events didn't need a trilogy. Where it's like, look, I love Infinity Gauntlet. You didn't need Infinity War and Infinity Crusade. Like, you don't need all three of those. Like,
I like Crusade.
I know you do, but I mean, we can be honest, right? Like, Crusade and War could have been one book or one series.
MCU is already working on Crusade for the movie.
What was Crusade about? What were they looking for? Like the Infinity Jump Rope? What were they looking for?
No,
it's still the Gauntlet.
Oh, okay.
But this time Goddess had it, and she gave all the gems to her lieutenants.
Yeah, basically, when Adam Warlock got the Infinity Gauntlet, he expelled all good and evil from his body, from himself. And in Infinity War, they fought the bad side, and in Infinity Crusade, they fought the good side. So
that sounds goofy as hell.
Yeah, look, it's much better executed than that simple premise sounds, but it's not. And again, it wasn't necessary.
That means that Adam Warlock in the movies was really shitty.
Oh yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. I didn't see it, so I don't.
I look, but I thought you knew. I already told you.
No, I know you told me, but like when you explain it, like when you put it out with that backdrop too, it's like, man, there's no way, like they like, there's no reason to bring them at all in MCU at that point. Yeah,
I mean, you could have. There's ways. There's definitely ways you could have brought Adam Warlock into the MCU.
Been part of the Infinity War plot, if anything, right?
Yeah, well, I thought he was being brought in to take on Thanos.
Well, see, but that's the whole thing where it like you technically could have brought in a character like Adam Warlock into the MCU, and it caused like or give you a reason to revisit the entire Infinity Gauntlet like episodes, or not episode, but like the idea of Infinity Gems, right? Like, and have like a solid reason for that. Now, don't get me wrong. I personally feel like if that had happened, we probably would have been getting the same people that are like, okay, well, hey, the MCU is trash and directionless now. They would have been saying, oh, they're going back to the well with Infinity, and
But like, let's say they brought them in ahead of time as part of the Infinity War.
You mean they introduced the idea of Adam Warlock in Guardians 1, right?
Was it 1 or 2? 1?
I don't remember.
I don't really watch those.
Which one had the gold people in it?
Would have been 2.
2.
Oh, okay, 2. yeah, but so in Guardians 2 then, so that's still before
Yeah,
whatchamacallit,
but
right?
not for any specific reason, right? Like they just had
Well,
like an
They
Easter
just
egg.
tease it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
just tease it, and then yeah. So anyway,
Howard the Duck had a
let-
better intro than he did.
so
Howard the
getting back
Duck
to
gets laid
Daredevil,
in the MCU.
yeah,
You what?
He gets laid in the MCU.
he
He
gets
gets
laid.
he gets homegirl pregnant. Meow meow.
He's talking about Howard the Duck.
When
Yeah.
did that happen?
And What If?
Oh,
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember reading about that. I never
No.
saw it, but I read about it.
Yeah,
he,
yeah.
I mean,
It's
he
good
got
stuff.
laid in his movie too, though.
Mhm.
Like, in the original one.
Look,
That's why
Howard
he-
the Duck gets laid.
That's why
That's
he
how you
wears
gotta
that
know.
smoking jacket.
He's a fucking duck.
Hey.
So, Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, #1. You guys want to rate it, or you all want to say anything else before we move on? Okay.
When's the second? It's only 3 issues.
Yeah, three issues. Which look, I don't know where it's gonna go, but
I feel like that's small. Like,
yeah, it feels like there's not enough. That's not enough issues. I agree.
Yeah.
It feels like it's not enough issues. Now, don't get me wrong.
Well, for Joe, it's
There-
too many because he was
Right.
he was out at like page 11.
Joe's like, we don't need all these pages. So, and that's the thing. Like, they are bigger books, so maybe.
That's a
This is
lot
gonna
of
be
lines.
daily.
to
How,
count,
what
bro.
like is it really? I didn't even count. Like I just read it and it just flowed for me. Like
No, it
Yeah,
did
it's
the same thing
almost
for
20
me.
pages.
oh, okay.
Yeah. But I agree, but it is more pages than a regular comic. So, or your average comic in this day and age. So,
See, so
so yeah.
They could have spared a couple pages in the beginning, make it a little longer. I think it would have flowed better.
It flowed
Listen,
fine.
Joe wouldn't have finished it.
I mean, flowed better for me.
Got it. There it is. Take that, Jay. No. Okay, let's do some ratings. Hecht, what would you rate Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, #1?
I'll give it a high 4. I like the premise. The beginning was pretty wacky. That I didn't see that little thing coming at the cemetery, and the ending is like, what the fuck? So they hooked me. They got me.
Mm-hmm.
I want to read it. I want to keep reading.
There it is. Oscor, what would you rate Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, #1?
I'll probably go with 4. Also, it's a good story. It's only 3 issues. I mean, you can get through it pretty quick.
There it is. Jay, Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, #1. What would you rate it?
I'll probably give it a 4. Like, it wasn't bad. I did enjoy what I read.
You just enjoyed the first part more.
Right.
Right, got it. Got it. Moses Magnum, what would you rate Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, #1?
I mean, that's a 5, man. Like this is up there with like, every now and then you get these like ancillary Daredevil books or Spider-Man books, and they're just great. Like The Fall from Grace and shit like that. So yeah, I love this, and I love the art. I love everything about it. I can't be mad at this at all.
Yeah. No, listen, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5 too, just because it's like I don't know that there's anything more that I really want from a Daredevil book outside of what I got here. Like, it felt good, it felt right. Great art, great words. It's like, and I'm intrigued. Like, again, and I don't know what's gonna happen next, which is crazy. Because after you read comics for a certain amount of time, you're just like, you all know this.
You know what that is?
What's that?
That's God's plan.
God's plan. God's plan.
Well, God is Charles Soule.
In this story, yes.
God's name is Chuck.
So yeah, it's like
That's why his
there's
last
not
name
much,
is Soul.
not much more I want from a Daredevil story. So I'm gonna give this a 5. All right. Cool.
That's our Christian
Yo.
corner moment.
Too funny. All right. Let's do some Spider-Man. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, let's do it. Moses, talk to us about the Amazing Spider-Man #1, my friend.
Oh man, I mean, yeah, it's a relaunch now. We're getting away from. I feel like we didn't do a departure from Nick Spencer. It just ended up being like Zeb Wells and a bunch of. It was part of. That's probably why there's so many Spider-Man books out there. Like, yeah, Nick Spencer ain't doing. I'm still mad he didn't finish like what is it, like Infinite Vacation. Like he should have. He had no business doing superhero books, and he had no business doing Spider-Man books. But yeah, here we are. Yeah, that is the cover I like. That's not the one I got.
Oh, you didn't get that cover?
No,
You got the white cover.
Well, I'll show you. Let me share. Present.
Like that cover is very nice though. Like I can't knock it. Like it's just really nice. And it feels very Spider-Man-y.
That's the cover I got.
Spider-Man is the Mexican version.
That's Eric Larson. That's Eric Larson's white cover for Amazing Spider-Man #1.
Now, who did he do that for?
Somebody that didn't pick it up at C2E2, so I picked it off the internet.
No, really?
I mean, I didn't buy it. I just took the picture.
Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Somebody paid for it and they didn't get it, so he added extra hair stuff and did the boobs a little better. Yeah. Like, he explained his process because it was like, because he gets so many commissions that he's like, he works, he does the best he can with the time,
Right.
And so because the guy didn't, so he added little gray tones here, little in the hair, and cross hatching on the clavicle and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'm just gonna print that and put it over my. Yeah.
So what'd you think of the book? We got Joe Kelly, we got Pepe Larraz.
Yeah, that's a good team.
Jr.
Joe Kelly's a really good writer. I love Joe Kelly, man. I mean, motherfucker wrote Steampunk, one of my favorite comics of all time. How do I get rid of it? And so I'm happy to see him do Spider-Man, and even the way he's doing it right now it's working. Like, it's almost taking it back. Even like, I know like Nick Spencer hated Dan Slott. Yeah. So he like tried to undo everything. And I think even if he did, he shouldn't have done that. That wasn't a good move for him. Like, what saved him was Ryan Otley. Like, that's what kept me buying the book. It's like, I just look at Ryan Otley's art and, and there wasn't enough blood. I'm used to more blood from him. But yeah, here it's another, like, it's a hard one, #1. Let's do this. And the story is good. Like, it starts with Peter Parker just trying to get a job after everything. Yeah. And having his decisions and what he does with superheroics and or Superior Spider-Man fuck up his his chances at a good job now. So he's just trying to get a job, and and then he becomes Spider-Man. Yeah, he's still Spider-Man. He's got to do Spider-Man shit. So even the one job he could have landed, he had to leave to do Spider-Man shit. Yeah. And then they introduced another character that like was his like goofy friend from junior high. And he's like in a good place now. He's like, I remember you. I'll give you the job. I know you're good, and that's where this story kind of goes. But as a number one, like I'm happy to see a new, like it didn't feel like they're trying to like undo a bunch of shit that happened. Like they're just moving forward and making you like, hey, this is a good starting point. Like if we were turned off by the last run here, this is the time. Um, and yeah, definitely like I was a huge fan of nonstop Spider-Man, but I don't think I thought that was the team that was doing this, but it's actually not because I think that was Joe Casey. But
Yeah, I
that's
think you're right.
yeah. So but they're all like part of the same group. Joe Casey, Joe Kelly, like they're the dudes that work on like Ben 10 and shit. You know, they all work together as almost like an artist collab. You know, but they're dudes from the same sensibilities and stuff. So I like them both. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this number one, and I got the white cover, and I like the cover, the wraparound cover that you guys posted too. There's a couple different covers, and then Pepe Larraz is, I mean, his art is good. Like it's like I feel like I can see there's a little inconsistencies, but they're not like bad inconsistencies. Like it's just easier to just blur something, you know, or a bit, you know, for the action, you know. And then when you see like little Peter Parker or little Peter Parker after like a science explosion, and then grown up Peter Parker with like a big bruise the size of a manhole on his face, like, and he puts in the work there, you know. So it's like even the bad parts of this, like I think they're bad on purpose, and it's just because he wants to add detail. He put more time on other panels, and not in the. It's not detrimental to the book at all, at least for me. Yeah.
I gotta stand corrected here. Like Nonstop Spider-Man was actually Joe Kelly. Yeah,
okay,
Joe Kelly
cool.
did do not. It was
Machado and Joe Kelly. Like that's the steampunk team, the team that did steampunk. Yeah, it just wasn't Pepe Larraz.
Yeah, this wasn't.
Pepe Larraz is a good substitute for Pachalo, but I was reading this wishing it was Pachalo. So.
I could see that.
But
even though, like, I know I personally like Pepe Larraz's art like a lot.
No, I love it too. But
I can see like like how Bachalo's art could be nice for this too.
But Chalo, I think, is a little like he draws Spider-Man a little too like tiny, like let's say he's like 5'9", he draws him like 5'4", yeah. And because I think he thinks of him like almost like a Chinese acrobat, like because of being able to like dodge street lights and shit in a crowded street and stuff. Right. He needs to be able to flow. Where a lot of people make him more tall and lanky,
Right.
But like more like because when you think of spiders, like jumping spiders are actually stockier and smaller, but they jump really high, and then other more predatory spiders have longer legs, so it depends on what kind of spider you're thinking of when you design Spider-Man. Like some people do them really like lanky, and some people do them a little more smaller. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so all in all, you felt like it was a good jumping on point for number one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Heck, how did you feel about it, man? What was your thoughts on Amazing Spider-Man number one?
I really like the art. Like it was very I don't want to say cartoony, but close. Like it was very, very expressive. Like you could tell what was going on their faces. Mm-hmm. I like the humor where Peter Parker gets a text message and it's Spider-Boy.
Yeah,
that's wild.
And he's like, it's some family shit.
Oh no, I gotta get this. It's a cousin, whatever. I gotta leave. Yeah. But they never show Spider-Boy, so what the fuck?
Listen, I was happy for that. I know, right? I'm like, please don't mess this book up by putting Spider-Boy in it.
my only
even his text scene was like messed up.
He's a zoomer. He's a zoomer. Oh, but my only gripe is that like the beginning where Peter's trying to get a job felt rushed. It felt kind of like the beginning of Daredevil.
Well, they were just bringing you up to speed with what's going on with Peter Parker.
Yeah,
that's the other thing, because they were. If I couldn't tell when Peter Parker was. Like, where are we in his life? Like, is this after everything else? Is this a new start? Like, that wasn't immediately expressed to me. I figured it out after, but
once they start talking about like Parker Industries and things like that, then you know it's
Yeah.
like after Superior and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the doctorate incident. Was after Superior.
And see, I don't know any of that shit. I don't.
Oh,
I don't
you gotta
read
Superior Spider-Man. It's one of the best comic
Superior
books Marvel
Spider-Man
ever
is
put out.
really good.
It's only like 38 issues or something like that.
See, and like everything I know about that, I know from when you guys were reviewing it, but
Right.
I've still never read it.
You should have done the Mo deal because they had it for $10 the whole series, like the omnibus on Comixology before it went under.
All
So
right.
I still have it on Kindle.
But yeah, like there wasn't anything in this book that I didn't like.
Okay, but I can feel where you're coming from. Where you're just like, you know, if I wasn't there for all of that, like the way that they're referencing these things, they're referencing it as if you already know, like you were there for it too. And if you weren't, then you're just kind of like, so wait, so what now? So that sounds like, does that adequately express the feeling you had reading it?
Yes, but that's only in the beginning, because after the beginning, after the job stuff, then it kind of like goes into the story, and you don't. I didn't really think about it. And then I think there's one point in the beginning where they actually put a reference to a past comic.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay. But they didn't do that for everything, so I'm lost.
Got it. Okay. And how did you?
Bullshit.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no,
What?
never mind. No. Sorry. Because there's like 3 omnibuses, but the one I had, it says it's volume 2, but it's actually all 3 volumes together.
Oh,
yeah. It was trying
And
to
that's
tell me. No, it's good because it was trying to sell me volume 1. It's like, you don't have volume 1 right now. Like, but it's like I don't, because I have all 3. Like, I technically have volume 1. You know.
okay.
It's just trying to sell me other shit.
Got it. Okay.
They're trying to fuck them.
Well, yeah, Jeff Bezos got tired of fucking Lauren Sanchez, and he's trying to fuck me now.
Yeah. Jay, what did you think of this Amazing Spider-Man #1?
I wasn't really feeling it. Feels like
No?
a retread of things we've already seen before.
Okay. Hey, listen, I feel like that is a very valid point. And it's definitely a feeling that I had reading the book too, where I was like, oh, especially considering like, and don't get me wrong, it's one of these things like that doesn't make it necessarily.
I mean, you're talking about Marvel in a time with the X-Men books are what they are right now too. Yeah,
right. And see, and this is the point that I was kind of about to make, where it's like that doesn't mean it's like unenjoyable, but it's like one of these things where like Spider-Man going quote unquote back to basics is a whole different thing than trying to take the the X-Men back to basics. And then it's like on top of that, it's like it feels like it's happening with less that with people like with teams that aren't doing as deft a job at that as they are in this book, where it's like, you know, at least I could mess around and be like, okay, like this feels like the beginning of Dan Slott's run, you know? Yeah. And it's like, okay, I read that run and I can read it and be like, okay, like, yeah, no, this is 100, like I'm pretty sure, and I can't say for certain just because I don't have a great memory like that, but I'm fairly certain the beginning of Dan Slott's run was Peter Parker trying to get a job. Like, you know, like in a job interview. So I'm just like, it's crazy because I read this and I'm like, isn't this, like, this is how we started with Dan Slott's run, right? Which, you know, I loved that run, you know, and not everybody did, but it's one of these things where I'm like, I can at the same time while I can be like, okay, like this is done well, I can also say to myself, like, okay, well, yeah, this 100% feels like a retread of like, you know, like we've told this Amazing Spider-Man story. It's or seemingly when I first started reading it, it seems like we've told this Amazing Spider-Man story before, and you know, as we got further into the book, maybe I feel a little less that way, but not that much. So,
Well, what did you feel about the backup story?
so the backup story, which the backup story primarily is with Norman Osborn, and it, you know, the art is John Romita Jr., which I know for myself. Uh, I was looking at this and I was like, this looks like some of the best John Romita Jr. art
Mm-hmm.
I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if he just was given more time or if he just was like, hey, like, you know, like I don't know if he's doing something new. I don't know what it
Well, it's
is.
only like
It
4 pages, so he's like, he's got to get, instead of working on a full book and
well,
do a cover, you know.
well, but here's the thing though. Like I've seen John Romita Jr. do 4 pages before and it not look like this. You know, you know,
I think
and
he
that's
also likes Spider-Man a little more because I
and,
noticed
and
like
yeah.
when he works on Spider-Man books, it looks better than like if he worked like on a new Avengers book, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and that could be the thing, but I know that that the first thing that struck me was how good his art looks, and it's 100% John Romita Jr. art still. So if you're not a fan of his art at all, you're not gonna like this. You know, you know, it's like this isn't the type of thing where it's like, oh, he's reinvented his style so much that he'll win you over. But this is good John Romita Jr. versus
I think it's the
subpar John
colorist.
Romita. You think it's the colorist, really?
Yeah,
The colorist helps a lot too, yeah,
because
because there is
he's adding lines that Ramita doesn't do.
and
He's
even
adding lips to
gradients.
characters.
Like the
Oh,
like when you look at the face of the dude, the terrorist dude, like
yeah,
there's color gradation in his face that adds dimension to where like John Romita Jr. doesn't really add a lot of dimension, you know. Like he has perspective, but the colors are
yeah,
usually kind of flat. Like yeah, like the cheekbones are highlighted and stuff like that. And that look again that helps,
See,
but it's still his line art. You know, like that's not. I've seen him draw Norman Osborn before, and they didn't look like that.
yeah, see
yeah,
how the lines on Norman's face are mostly color. They're not like I can't see the sketch underneath having those lines.
No, you on the forehead you can, and on the cheek, one of the cheeks, yeah, for sure.
I mean, like like the Norman Osborn in particular was like done so well in this issue,
Yeah,
where I was just like, wow, like that guy looks great.
And
He looks
really,
great.
even on Norman right there, it's not that they colored over the sketch, but they colored it in a way that the sketch pops out as well.
There's a lot of shading.
Yeah,
well, and they
Yeah,
really use the light source as like because it's it's a fluorescent light on top,
mm-hmm.
from the top down, so they definitely use the light source as because even like Norman Osborn, the contrast of his like calm demeanor face and then the manic face of the dude down there, and yeah.
And
yeah, I
we should
really,
mention that the inker is Scott Hanna for this portion of the book, and the color artist is Marcio
Menace.
Meniz,
Menace.
Menyz. I don't know how to pronounce it, but
Menace.
yeah.
and
So
they're a really good colorist.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, listen, I don't ever try to take anything away from inkers or colorists, but again, like my thought was like, I know that generally speaking, I mean, John Romita Jr. is a legend. I personally like, I grew up reading many books that he had done, but I feel like my taste has changed and it has gotten away from his art. Like I don't like it as much these days. But I hadn't like looking at that. I was like, oh, if he could draw like that, I would read more books of his and be happier about reading more books
When you
of
talk
his.
about
And
too many lines, like that's a dude with too many lines too. Like,
yeah, absolutely, John Romita Jr. Lionheart, it can be crazy. I agree. So, but yeah,
so
and that story I thought was like I liked the little piece of what we got there. Now, as soon as this dude decides, like, I don't know if he's still doing Gold Goblin or not, but as soon as he does that, I'm sure I'm out. Like, I don't want Gold Goblin. I don't want any part of that. Like that.
yeah, I
Like,
think that's all done.
well,
Because he
okay.
went bad. Like again, so I don't think like he wants to be good as the man that he is. No, I think because
As
that's his
Norman
whole
Osborn or as like good
as
Green
Norman
Goblin?
Osborn. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because he's like because that's the whole thing that's going back to the hopeful for like he wanted to just die in obscurity, but
Yeah,
now he's like he realized the juxtaposition of great power and responsibility, but
right.
him abusing it. Now he has to atone for real, and that comes from the man, not the mask.
Yeah. No,
It's
and
And
his
that
redemption arc.
yeah,
right. And that whole concept I like. Like as long as
yeah,
it's like
it doesn't become
him.
Gold Goblin.
Right. I don't want and here's the thing, I don't even mind him like potentially maybe him trying to be some sort of like hero, you know what I'm saying? Just because like I didn't mind him so much as like Iron Patriot, right? Like, that was Norman Osborn, right?
Yeah, but he was
Yeah.
bad though. Like that's the thing.
Yeah. He was bad, but he was like pretending to be good, right?
Yeah, no,
And
that's I mean.
look,
Yeah,
all
but
I'm saying is like
that fits for a reason. Like Gold Goblin
yeah,
sucked because
yeah.
he was trying to be good, but he's naturally bad. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and again, he's hiding behind the mask. Like, whether it was him pretending to be good, there ultimately he was bad. Like, even if he was pretending to be good, we all knew he was bad. Like, he
I
was.
just
We didn't think when he
yeah.
became Iron Patriot, so he's like, oh, he's reformed now.
Right.
You
No,
know.
I agree.
Right.
I
So, but
agree.
with Gold Goblin, it's like he was being reformed and he failed at that because his nature is evil, but he's not. He hides behind that evil, and that's where this story kind of like does the now as a man. So yeah, they would fuck it up if they bring back, if
Yeah.
if he's like a
I
good
just
Green
think Gold
Goblin. Like we had the
Gold
story of good Green Goblin back in the day too, with the little was it like Ozzy Osbourne or one of the it was like the third Green Goblin like back in the 90s. Yeah.
I don't even remember that. Like, but what I can say is this: like, I feel like Gold Goblin as a concept just feels like a bad idea. Like, it's
Mhm.
almost in the same way how whatchamacallit. Like, I don't think was it Chasm? Is that the Ben Riley
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Chaos or is it Chasm?
No,
It's Chasm.
Chasm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think Chasm's a good concept either, and it's not about Ben Riley being bad. Like that's not the issue. I think it's
No.
something about like like
Well,
Gold
it's
Goblin
Hunt.
just doesn't get over.
He's just
Chasm just
Hunt
doesn't get over.
from the Spawn. Like he's Hunt. Like he's just
Either
a
way,
dude with
it's like look, no, look.
necroplasm.
If people
Yeah.
remember Haunt, right? Like the Haunt, like very few people remember that joint. But either
So
way,
good.
it's like it just doesn't. it just
It
doesn't
is.
go over. So
I
yeah,
gotta get those books.
yeah. Oz, how'd you like this book?
It's fine, I guess. I wasn't feeling the art at the beginning, like when he's in the interview, it just looked weird. But then it
The
slowly
Pepe
like
Larraz?
but then it slowly starts getting better. Like the rhino stuff, like
Yeah,
all
that
look
looks
great.
such a good. Yeah.
And then when they first show Hobgoblin,
Oh
like
yeah.
dude, this dude
Yeah.
spent a day on that portrait.
Yeah, that Kingsley profile, it looks so good. And the wild part is I feel like it's one of those pictures where it's like if you know who it is, it's like super striking. And if you don't know who it is, you want to know who that is.
Yeah.
Where like I don't know, like can I pull that up? Let me see if I can pull that up.
I can pull it up.
Okay, cool.
I'll tell you
Thank
for
you.
a second, I
But
was like, Slade?
I know, right, no, he definitely has a Slade vibe, definitely. And like and that characterization of Kingsley is good stuff too, where it's like just him kind of like, you know, being kind of behind the scenes, like, you know, it felt like people were kind of making him a little too hands-on. And don't get me wrong, he gets hands-on eventually, but you know, he definitely is more like the master manipulator kind of dude.
I
But
mean,
yeah,
like
that
the
joint's amazing.
detail. I'm pretty sure I can see people in the buildings back here too. Like, there's like he spent some time on this.
Yeah, no, it's very nice. And that guy looks like he's about his business, you know, where you're just like, okay.
And
Like,
all the scenes with Kingsley are like this. He like the hobgoblin suit like looks
yeah,
amazing, and it's kind of
yeah.
like hidden a little bit, so you're not even getting that much detail, but it's still so well done. I was like,
Hmm.
oh my god, this is yeah.
Now, Mo, do you know, like, I know that they well, I won't say introduce, because the way that it came up in the book, it's like there's that character Shay, right? Which
Mhm.
is, I guess, like a love interest for Peter Parker, or maybe like a little plaything. I don't know. But I'm just like, I don't know who that is. Like, but the way she was introduced makes me feel like, okay, like I'm sure she's been in books before and I just missed them. Do you
Yeah.
know her? Because I
Nah,
don't.
I don't like
Okay.
that. It might have been from the Nick Spencers, and I didn't really read a lot of those, and that's why like I went to my Spider Boys and the Dan Slott ones. But even the Dan Slott ones were like he's having fun with it, but he's having a little too much fun. Like,
Mm,
because it's not the main title. He could do whatever he wants there, and it gets a little
hmm.
weird.
Right,
Um,
right.
but yeah, no, there's a dude, like Tony, one of my clients, that he's really been on it. Like, he actually he knew what the Nick Spencer was, and
Hmm.
he enjoyed it regardless. Like, and he kept up on it, so he's still uh like I know I could talk to him and ask him about it, but yeah, not definitely not.
I'm looking and it does say her first appearance was in in 2024, basically. So
Yeah,
yeah, so yeah, she's very
it might be
relatively
like a
new.
Zeb Wells creation too, like not even Nick Spencer, because they didn't like say, "Oh, Nick Spencer's run is ending." Like they just replaced them little by little. Like,
Right. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it does say yeah, created by Zeb Wells.
yeah.
So
And that was a
yeah,
run that I wanted to read too, but then it got weird too, like with the 8 deaths of Spider-Man and things like that. And I'm like, man, like again, I didn't have a good jumping on point, like because I had been away for about a year,
hmm,
and so now this number one's a good jumping on point for me.
hmm.
Yeah.
So okay, Heck, how did you feel about this joint, man?
In terms of
Or
what?
did I ask you already? Oh wait, no, or did I already wait? We already came to you, didn't we? In
Yeah,
the beginning, or no? Oh, okay,
yeah,
never mind.
all right.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Okay, cool. So everybody's had a chance to say their piece. How do you all feel about the idea of this being a number one issue? Like, and it like just you kind of were touching on it just now, Mo. Like, I mean, we had obviously a Spider-Man relaunch seemingly not that long ago, I guess, but I guess technically it's what was it 2 years ago at this point?
Yeah, kind of.
But so, or actually, or maybe now that I think about it, I guess technically it has to be like at least 3 years ago, right? 2022, because if that was like, yeah, so yeah, it had to be a little while ago. Like, I'm not sure exactly where it, like, what issue Spider-Man ended with, but how do you feel about another relaunch of Spider-Man right now? Like, as far as like just numbering from a numbering perspective.
Well, they don't erase the past numbering. I don't have the copy on me right now, but
Right. Where they do like the
it's
legacy.
like technically legacy numbering 956,
Right.
but it's number one.
Right.
At this point I don't mind. Like Marvel's been doing all this shit with all new, all different, and all this shit. So
Right.
for the last like 10 years,
Right.
so I stopped caring anymore. I just look at the legacy number, and if it says one, I know it's a on top of it, it's a good jumping on point. Like, and this is
Hmm.
exactly that. And any
Hmm.
excuse for a white cover, I'll take it. Yeah, so,
Right.
so.
Right.
So for
Uh
me, it's fine, and I care more about the story really, and the story
right.
delivered. So
Gotcha. And so no part of it for you, like, because I mean, you're a huge Spider-Man fan and have
Yeah.
read probably more Spider-Man than any of the rest of us. But no part of it feels like, oh well, like the thing that we were talking about where you can feel the retread aspect of it.
I mean, I can, but that's what Marvel does now, and that's where I'm like, I don't like. What am I gonna be mad at it? Like, it makes no point to be mad at it. All I could do is not buy it, you know.
Right. Right.
And if they put a white cover, I'm gonna buy it. Yeah. So,
Right. Right.
it's like
But
the,
look,
like for me, it's like the Nintendo eShop. Like they just keep putting out the same games again, and people keep buying it. So what the fuck? What I'm gonna be mad? Like what the fuck do I care? Like
right.
I'm more mad. Like I'm not even an X-Men fan like you are, but I am an
Mhm.
X-Men fan to a degree, and I'm more mad of how they did the X-Men
Oh yeah.
than how they're doing Spider-Man. Like
Yeah.
everything goes back. Like I'm just happy, Mephisto didn't take part in this number one at all. So I'm
Right.
I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna now I got to start a pull list, add more books to what I'm gonna be getting because I like this. I like the team, and
Yeah.
and I want to see Joe Kelly succeed
Mhm.
in Spider-Man. Like I like nonstop, so I know I'm gonna like this. Like and
Mhm.
I mean, again, like that backup story really sold me. Where it's like this is where it
Mm.
gets more philosophical, it's taking on the villain, and then as with Spider-Man as it goes, a lot of times these backup stories are more of the like the myth arc for longer, like the next year,
Right.
and
Right.
and you're seeing the first and they come out twice a month, so it's like
Mhm.
like yeah, I got a good team on it now. Like
Right.
I like the Nick
Right.
Spencer stuff well enough, but it just didn't
Mhm.
hold me. You know,
Yeah.
and
Right.
and again, like there's so many Spider-Man books, like we talked about earlier. Like Jay almost didn't even read it because he didn't know which one to get. And so, like, if you don't like this, there's another Spider-Man book that like. I've been reading Spider-Man Reign too. Like so I
Right.
get my Spider-Man fix through there. And he pops up in the there's like Ghost Spider now that I'm following, and stuff like that too. So like Miles Morales. So there's a Spider-Man for everybody now, and so it's like even
Right.
if this is going, oh, it's going back to basics. It's like, yeah, but Marvel has to go back to basics. That's the only way they make fucking money. Like,
That's fair. That's
If,
fair.
if you don't like this number one, wait a couple years. There'll be another number one.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And
Yeah.
I also have like a bootlegged. I have Amazing Spider-Man number 1 to like 900 on a digital file. So I'm reading through that. So it's like
Which number one was that?
the number
That's
one.
like the OG
one.
number
The
one, huh?
OG. It starts with Amazing Fantasy 15.
Oh,
And
okay.
then, yeah. And then it goes
Yeah.
from number 1 to 900. So,
See, even though number one there, it wasn't even number one.
right. It was, yeah. Amazing Fantasy 15 was so good. Like,
I've never actually read it.
Oh man, like, well, it's one of the first comics I ever read, so it's like,
Oh wow.
yeah. So for me, it's
Sheesh.
like reading it again. It's like I learned to read on reading that. So as
Mhm.
a kid, a 5-year-old kid, so
Yeah.
for me, it's special. That and
Yeah.
Daredevil 188. I read those two back to back.
So anybody else have any thoughts on like the idea of relaunching and retreading the back to basics type model for whether you want to call it about Marvel in general or Spider-Man specific? Like Jay, I know you were talking about that. Like you just kind of feel like let me put it like this. Did this issue like literally like bore you because you're like, I've read this already?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Like,
But kind of not.
right. It's like, it's kind of boring, but it's well done boring, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. No, I mean, listen, you can't knock the execution of this book. Joe Kelly wrote it well, and Pepe Larraz drew it spectacularly. But you're basically saying it's not like you're necessarily seeing something you haven't seen before.
Right. Like I've seen Spider-Man go on job interviews before. I've seen Spider-Man search. I've seen Spider-Man search apartments before. Like I've seen this all before.
Yeah, and see, and I think that's the thing where when you're talking about execution, if Marvel has a mandate and they're like, hey, we need to we're trying to get things back to where they used to be. Like if you have somebody that's in the driver's seat, like, hey, I want it to feel like the 90s, you know what I'm saying, or the early 2000s. Play the greatest hits for these characters. It's like this book definitely feels like a Spider-Man's greatest hits kind of deal. Like even like the little thing where he kind of almost puts his shoulder out because he was like hitting Rhino with a truck, and he's just like, okay, I gotta, like Spider-Man is strong. He's superhumanly strong, but he's not like the strongest guy. You know what I mean? So it's like he still has like that little bit of strain. Like that felt like some classic stuff to me that I enjoyed that. But I definitely was like, okay, no, I remember when they used to do that more.
How long before you get Captain Universe again?
Listen, I don't know if we'll go that far into the bag, but maybe. Like Captain Universe is a little divisive, right? When it comes to Spider-Man, isn't it?
That's how you get the next number one.
What? But that's the thing. It's like, I mean, what are you gonna do? You either give him armor or you put, you get the Phoenix Force.
The spider armor. Yeah. So,
and there's people, and it's all in the execution. Like when you talk about like going back to status quo, it's like it's all about the execution, like how they do it. Dan Slott took everything that was like divisive and made it cool, which is still divisive, because Dan Slott's doing it, but it still divided people. But he just like, it's like, oh, this is where they kind of dropped the ball. Let me fix this, and like go ahead. No, that's really pretty much it. Like, so that's what I liked about his run is like he just took you hate clones, here, let me fix it.
Right. He did feel like he was trying to fix all the things that anybody could complain about with the Spider-Man mythos.
Yeah,
and it was like,
awesome
you hate
to
Ezekiel,
me. But... You hate Ezekiel? Okay, let me kill him. Yeah,
right. But then like you said, like going back to basics and like, this is definitely an execution thing because like again, being an X-Men fan and like if you're trying to make the X-Men feel like how they did in the 90s, I feel like they're doing a terrible job of that. Like, and I'm like, and I would not have been happy with that no matter what, because I feel like we're kind of past that point. But there could have been a way that they've done it where I would be at least feel like, okay, like, hey, this feels like 90s X-Men, but it's done well. But I don't even know that we're necessarily even doing it well. It just kind of feels a little ramshackle, which I'm like, man, that's unfortunate. I hate saying that.
The closest thing that feels like that is like the Wolverine, but that's an easy one. And even now it's a little different because Wolverine is in a different, like he's a different dude than he was in the 90s,
100%. And the Wolverine book, like it's definitely like, and like I really enjoyed reading Wolverine in the Krakoa era.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy reading it now.
Like for me, the Krakoa era Wolverine was like probably the best thing you could do after showing his his origin. Like I like the fact that you didn't know his origin. So if you're gonna ruin him by giving him an origin, the Krakoa era was like what made it worth it.
Yeah, I agree. It looks like we lost Oz, unfortunately. I was gonna go to us doing some ratings, but hey, it's okay. Like we can.
He told me
he can put his rating in the chat.
He told me it's 5 out of 5.
That's what he told you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Hecht, man, go ahead and hit us with your rating for the Amazing Spider-Man #1.
I'm gonna give this one a 4. I like the art. The story was good, and I don't read Spider-Man that often, so it was pretty new to me. It's new to me.
There it is. Sometimes you got to look. it used to be they treated every comic like it could be somebody's first, right? So there it is. Jay, what would you rate Amazing Spider-Man #1?
I give it a 2. I've been there, done that.
Damn. Even with this
fine.
beautiful Pepe Larraz art, 2?
Did you read?
That's fine.
Did you read the Nick Spencer *1?
I don't remember if I did or not.
Try reading that.
Did he? Was that when he Spider-Man finding the Tri-Sentinel?
Yeah, and he's roommates with Boomerang.
Yeah.
Oh, I did read that.
Oh God.
I don't remember what I rated that.
Like Joe was like 4.5. No. Like, no, I don't know.
No, I love punch clock villains.
Yeah. Moses Magnum, what would you rate the Amazing Spider-Man #1?
It's a 4. Definitely. I enjoyed it, and it was. I fell asleep like 3 times reading it, but that's only because I'm tired. But I felt good. Like when I woke up, I was on the next panel, and I'm like, okay, good. Like I was still dreaming about it while I was asleep. Like I took like 3 naps. So it took me about an hour and a half to read it, but I took like 3 naps in between. But it's not to say it's bad. It's like it just made me feel, because it is going back to basics. It just made me feel comforted, like a little kid.
Yeah.
Like, and
yeah.
we're all
And
just trying to get back in the womb. So yeah, and that's like it made me feel like a little kid reading, and I'm just. Yeah, Emily's like, "Why are you curling your toes like that?"
Moses is flipping the page, or she's like,
yeah. Exactly. I just felt like a little kid. Like all I needed was some ice cream, and yeah, I was listening to some metal while reading it too. So it's like it's just like when I was 5.
There it is. Well, listen, I
needed an ice cream sandwich. Is what I needed.
I'm gonna give this joint a 4 as well. It's a good book. It's just, I think what keeps it from it being a 5 for me is just that it felt very much like a particular era of Spider-Man, and there's a reason why they're doing that, and I think there's gonna be a lot of people that are gonna be happy about it. We'll see. Like it might get more interesting, but as far as issue #1, I think they definitely were like, we need to appeal to as many Spider-Man fans as we can. And I think that this is what the book you get when you're trying to do that. Like, this is the best possible outcome for that mandate. It's like, I need you to make sure that it appeals to as many Spider-Man fans as possible. This is as good as that gets. So cool. Like, I'll take it. Like, the art is so good. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like, I can't, like, I would buy this book just to like look at Pepe Larraz do his thing like month to month or every 2 weeks.
I can't wait till they get Chris Bachalo.
Hey, like if Bachalo fills in for Pepe Larraz, and that works for me too.
What is it, like every 4 or 5 issues you get like Pepe Larraz takes a break, then you get like Humberto Ramos, Chris Bachalo, like
that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, but that would make. I mean, it's Spider-Man, so like if you're gonna do that with any book, Spider-Man's the one to do it with, right? So, all right, folks, it's time for us to get out of here. Let's do some final thoughts. All right. Oh heck, any final thoughts, buddy?
I don't want to hear anybody complain about DC doing a Crisis or nothing, because there's so many #1s on Marvel's side that doesn't have the lead up like a big Crisis or something behind it.
That's fair. You are not wrong. There it is. Jay, final thoughts.
I got nothing this week.
Hey, I'm gonna need you to think more, Jay. You gotta think more. Moses Magnum, final thoughts.
R.I.P. Joey Ramone. 22 years ago, I was set to see him for my birthday sing, and on this day today, 22 years ago, he died. Non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. Yeah.
Damn.
So yeah,
Okay.
so I'm still one of my regrets. I didn't get to see him sing live, and I'm still mad about it.
Fair.
Fuck
Fair.
Nancy.
Just want to give you all or say thank you to all the people that have supported this show. We appreciate you. We will be back next week. But until then, be good to yourself and to each other. We are the Fantastic Forum. Have a good night.